All right, 6:30 Friday, May 1st. We did it. We did it. Awesome job, month of April. We went the whole month of April without a recordable, and that's usually pretty challenging for us. So excellent job. Let's really double down now, and let's do it for the month of May as things are really starting to progress. Just about everybody's back from winter layoffs and projects are getting ramped up. So these man hours are really going to climb fast. So our exposure goes way up. So let's remember to keep our priorities in order: safety, quality, integrity, and kicking butt on projects. So let's starts with a JHA each day, starts with really good communication, good teamwork, looking out for each other, eliminating those unsafe conditions and unsafe acts, and we can be very successful if we can do that. So excellent job, 57 days from our last recordable, 57 from our last first aid, and 28. Kind of these are rough man hours. So roughly it's our last recordable was roughly about 62,700. And then our last vehicle was about 3,000 or 30,700. So good job. All right, so this week I wanted to quickly, as we're getting going, a reminder about our other liability out there is utility strikes. These could be very costly for us. So we want to make sure that we're following the law when it comes to the DigSafe law. So biggest thing for us is two parts. It's with DigSafes, or it's actually three parts. So make sure we have a DigSafe on our projects. Make sure we're maintaining our marks, so we're respecting the markouts, and then we're following the 18-inch tolerance zone. When we fail to do one of those three things, it's going to cost us money. It could cost somebody a really severe injury if it comes to gas and power lines. So we need to take the utmost respect when we see yellow and red markings out there on the pavement. So a quick highlight of the law. This is a Vermont state law. It's in the statutes. So no person or company shall engage in excavation activity except in emergency situations without pre-marking their proposed area for excavations and giving notice as required by this section. So we got to call DigSafe, and the new law is, remember, it's 3 days now. So if we call in a DigSafe today on Friday, it's not going to be really ready for mark out until Wednesday. So pre-planning is critical on that. If you ever need DigSafe follow-up questions, call Tom or myself, and we have access to our corporate DigSafe number, and we can pull up any existing or any previous existing DigSafe tickets, and we can get those renewed pretty quickly. But again, it's 3 days for the locators to come out to mark out. So best practice to prevent underground utility damage is hold that pre-construction meeting on site, and that's kind of part of the JHA side of it. Is once these marks are established, we want to try to take photos, establish some offsets if you want. If you got GPS equipment on site and available, utilize it, store those points, you can go back to it. It's our responsibility to maintain the marks. I can't stress that enough. It's our responsibility, no one else's. It's our responsibility to maintain these marks. So as soon as we rip up asphalt, put spoil piles over them, eliminate these marks, once they're gone, it takes 3 days to do a pre-mark or remark. But other things that we've done to help us with this is we have 5 locators, actually handheld locators, available to use on some of these kind of roadway sites, road construction sites, to try to help go back and verify kind of markings and help us with potholing and verifying depths and things like that. So let's make sure we're maintaining, and let's be really respectful out there. Pay attention to any changes in direction. This is when it gets us. If we're following an underground utility and it changed direction quickly on us, if we're directional drilling, or if we're running parallel with a known utility, these things change. So it doesn't hurt to quickly have somebody hand shoveling ahead of the excavator to pothole and verify depths and locations. So as we're chasing these things, we don't come into it all of a sudden. Could be costly if it's gas or power. Make sure anyone involved is aware of any offsets or markings that have been compromised. So good communication with changing of conditions Don't put your spool piles over the markings. Avoid driving machinery over stakes and flags. Paved areas should be swept periodically so the marks can be visible. Again, all these markings color coding isn't available in the tool crib. So if you need to grab some extra cans of red, yellow, orange, blue, and green are most of the ones that we use available in the tool crib. So try to make sure that we are remarking, refreshing those marks if they're becoming faded, if that's how we're kind of maintaining our marks. For the newest employees that may have already forgotten during orientation, but again, red markings on the asphalt, that's your electrical. Your yellow is your gas. Your orange is all your comm. So that could be all different types of fiber optics to cable, television, to kind of the copper wires out there. Blue is your portable water. Green is your sewer and drainage. Pink is for us. It's for our surveys. And then white is our pre-marks. I know we kind of bounce colors around a little bit, but if we can try to maintain good color coding, especially on your projects, if you can, if you're just doing survey, try to keep the pink if you can, so you don't confuse the operator. If you put a bunch of blue down as like an offset, make sure that they know that you're using that color for survey or something, just so we don't get confused out there. Then last that I have for utility damage prevention out there, this is our best thing, is that 18-inch tolerance zone. So when we do have a utility strike, this is what we get cited for, that we didn't follow the 18-inch tolerance zone. So the 18-inch tolerance zone is kind of a buffer zone for us. We want to try to maintain good excavation. So all the equipment operators out there, you got to utilize your spotters and your skilled laborers to hand dig until you visually see these utilities, so you know if you have a duct bank. Again, a duct bank is something that is more than one utility. So it's a good example of this one here, this orange communication line here, where it's 2 rows of 3. So you got a six duct here. And sometimes the best locators will let you know that this is a 20-inch telephone. So this is saying that the telephone is 20 inches wide. It means it's a duct bank. So then they have 18 inches on both sides. So it's 36 plus 20. So then that kind of 56-inch area corridor, we need to make sure that we're hand digging, finding these things before we cross them, or if we're going to run parallel for a long time. You'll see this a lot with gas. The gas company is probably the best. They'll let us know the size of their gas line, if it's 2-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch, whatever it may be. They'll let us know that size. That's not depth. It's what it is the actual width of that utility. And then we got to make sure we're 18 inches on both sides of that. We got to do either vac or hand dig before we get that bucket in there and start digging next to the utility. So again, all the operators out there, take the time. Make sure you see it before you dig next to it. And then use those spotters. That's going to be our best practice for utility damage prevention. These things can cost us a lot of money. So please, we have historically, we have really good trends of not damaging underground utilities. So let's continue our best practice. Let's not fall short on these 3 best behaviors out there on our projects, so we do not damage underground utilities. Is there any questions out there? If so, please jump in and share. If not, I'm going to quickly unshare and reshare the rest of our meeting this morning. Let me just fire that up. Here. All right, so the rest of our ECI meeting of the week here. Great team photo. So this week's code of conduct is to don't overpromise and underdeliver. All right, so be honest and realistic with your comments. Add in contingency and build in reserve for unknowns. Or your commitments, not comments, sorry. Be honest and realistic with your commitments. Add in contingency and build in a reserve for unknowns. So we're going to always find a lot of unknowns. So that's a good one. Ownership topic of the week. how to maintain accuracy and trust. Don't act on secondhand information. This is a big one for me. I get a lot of calls and questions, and a lot of times I actually don't know all the information, so I have to be very careful with how I communicate out there. So secondhand information dilutes accuracy. Important details get left out or misunderstood. Bad information creates drama. Bad information creates drama and distracts us from our mission. Making critical decisions based on inaccurate information can compromise safety, reduce quality, and hinder performance. So verify the facts before reacting to interpreted or biased information. Go to the source and get the full picture. Clear, direct communication keeps us aligned, focused, and effective. Thanks for acting on facts, not assumptions. That's from Bat. That's really good. It's a really good reminder for me. And I think it's just biggest one there is go to the source, especially if you have questions or concerns or wanting other more permanent information that you need to go right to them. So that's really good. A lot of ways to communicate: email, text, phone calls, face to face. So take advantage. Equipment focus of the week. Let's care for our equipment. Another reminder of the importance of properly caring for our equipment. Inspect equipment when it arrives each morning before use, and again before it is picked up. At a minimum, engine oil must be checked daily prior to starting the machine. Coolant and hydraulic levels should also be checked regularly. Any issues with equipment or trucks must be reported to the shop immediately, either by phone or through the Fleetio app. This applies even if the issue was not caused by you or was already present when the equipment arrived. Failing to report problems can lead to large repairs, increased downtime, and unnecessary costs. Prompt reporting helps keep our equipment running safely and efficiently. Thank you for taking care of our equipment. Anything to add from the shop? Brad, you want to send us off on your motto?
Yeah, anytime. Just give us a call. We're here.
Yeah. Thanks, Brad. Yeah, give them a call. All right, today we start our 401k meeting. So if you signed up for today between 8 and 11:30, please don't miss your appointment. Those are half-hour meetings. If you do want to verify or change or check some status of your 401k, please contact Aaron or Sam. Their phone numbers are here. Their emails are here. You can always call the 863-6389, goes through our telephone, automated stuff, hit 0 for the operator, and you can get someone up front that way as well. But please sign up, take advantage of your 401k. Dragon Boat, Sarah's looking for some more people to be added to potentially get our own boat or join another team, split a team. But if we can get 16 people, we can have our own ECI boat. This is kind of a fun activity.
I've emailed a couple people, Matt. Sarah and I can't row that boat by ourselves, so we're still looking for some more people on the team.
Oh, awesome.
I highly recommend you join.
Yeah. When is it again, Phil?
It's practice is on the 25th and 26th, and then the race is on the 29th. I'm sorry,
Okay.
on the 9th, August 9th.
On the 9th. Yeah, I'll check my schedule. Maybe I'll join you guys.
Yes, perfect. We don't want to lose. ECI losing wouldn't look good.
We gotta figure out how to engineer a little propeller there so we win. We can race us to the top.
I love it.
Yeah. Just take advantage. And don't forget I think the pool is now closed. Matt, if you want to jump in and let me know if today's the last day to sign up or if that already closed out, but looks like it's May 1st to the 31st.
Yeah, it's closed out. We got one late person yesterday, but it's great that he signed up, and good luck, everybody. The guys are out turkey hunting as we speak. Hopefully there's some good kills this morning.
Oh, there we go. Let's share them when we see them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll take advantage of that. We'll let us know how the month goes, and we'll see who won it. We got a couple last one before we get to the projects. Here's just again contact information for the wellness program. Don't forget your wellness challenge when I'm going out and visiting job sites. This past week, I've been talking to a lot of people about how they're doing. So let's just keep us on the know of how things are progressing. And, we got another 2 months, we got this month and next month before the wellness challenge wraps up. So those micro habits create those macro habits. So every day, try to do your best to follow your goals. All right, we got Alex Archibald going to talk to us today about the Burlington Harbor dredging project that we did all winter. Welcome in, Alex.
Thank you, Matt. Engineers Construction, along with Green Mountain Marine Service, were hired by the City of Burlington to complete a dredging project at Perkins Pier and the College Street Basin after low water years posed a risk to boaters. This project consists of pulling material out of the lake, placing it in a dewatering bin, then hauling the material to a designated area for stockpiling. The project had three different soil categories, which all had their own process for disposal. This included contaminated soils that were required to be hauled to Casella landfill in Coventry, Vermont, which Eastside was able to do in-house. The Perkins Pier location had approximately 2,033 yards of material to be taken out, giving the whole marina about another 3 feet of depth for boats and other watercrafts. The College Street location, directly in front of the Echo Center, had approximately 1,534 yards of material that would be dredged, creating a more consistent slope down into the water and under the spirit of the Ethan Allen. In the past years, the docks in that area have been beached due to low water along the shallow depths, and it helped the spirit to dock and undock a little better. ECI performed the improvements this winter, causing many different forms of challenges to work through. These included sub-zero temps and wind chills, creating thick ice on the lake, and missed days to not damage machines. As the days got warmer, there was a challenge of trying to get the material dry enough to truck while still being able to manage it at the stockpile. Through all the challenges, slow days, and wet material, ECI was able to still complete the job on time while delivering an end product the client was very happy with. That first photo there I think that is our first bucket out of the lake. This is Green Mountain Marine Services cat excavator on their 2 barges. The next one is their bigger long stick. They use that one to dig out of the dumpsters and put it on the parking lot, which was our dewatering bin. There's some more photos of them digging out of the lake. Here is us mixing the pile up. We found that we had to mix it up quite a bit and keep flipping it to try and get to dry, or in some days freeze, so that we were able to truck it to our fill site.
Yeah, you could see like a good 8 inches of frost.
Yeah.
Like it's frozen up top. That's kind of funny. Some of those cold temps.
This one, you can see this is real thin ice next to the docks, but there were days that he had to break through 6 to 8 inches of ice in the mornings before he could even start digging. Here's another. This is a little bit of different angle of our dewatering bin and how wet it was everywhere. And the next two. Oh yeah, we found a bunch of bottles, a bunch of debris. Anything you could think of, we probably found it.
The old wooden things there that they were studying too, right?
Oh yeah, we I don't know if there's a photo of it in here, but there's an old pier that used to be in Perkins Pier that we pulled out. It was from the I forget what the 1600s that they put it. It was old. Yeah, there's some photos of there was a little snow squall we had one day, and it came in pretty hot and heavy, and then it dwindled away pretty quick. But these are some of the photos of what we had to deal with certain days in the winter.
Challenging times, right?
There's a couple photos of us loading trucks, and then that one with all the snow is at the fill site. We had to pile a lot of this material onto plastic and poly-encapsulate it for later testing and later use, which you can see down on that right photo there. That's our that's the fill site at the end. Guys did a great job of cleaning that up and making sure it looked nice and good. And then you always get good photos down by the lake. So
Yeah, beautiful sunsets. I'm sure the boaters are going to be really happy with a lot more depth there because that's it's really tight in there. So it's good quality job by ECI. Good job, Alex. Thanks for sharing and putting this presentation together for us. To wrap up the meeting, we just got a quick little shout out to some of our favorite equipment from years past to remind us to take care of our equipment. And here's the 83 Bomag. I'm sure, Jim, if you want to tell some quick little stories about this equipment, feel free to jump in.
I got here just a little while after that. That's Albert Curtis. That was in the 90s. I got here in 96.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of that, but I'm sure that's in the city of Burlington somewhere. Either I almost picture that red brick building, but
Yeah.
yep, that's Albert doing in the lower one. Actually, I was. That's over in Essex. No, not that one. That must still be in Burlington. The middle one, Jim Cleveland. Yep, there's Albert. Yep, the first reclaimer we ever had. I think the last picture was when I was actually here over in Essex. I think at the actually the Hannaford, the Lang Farm exit road. But yeah, that's definitely down in Burlington somewhere. The old girl had a Detroit engine. That thing would scream loud. You
Yeah.
better have some hearing protection.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's take care of our equipment because it really makes our lives a lot easier. So we don't have to do a lot of this by hand. So
that's right.
Keep it nice and yellow if we can, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be a great day to keep our priorities in order. Let's work together as a team. Let's communicate well, solve our problems. Let's go out and kick some butt today. Have a great one, guys and gals.
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.